You have done the work, the reading, the discipline, the early mornings, the prayers you meant with everything in you. By now, you should be standing inside the life you can already picture. And still, this door has not moved. This is not an effort problem. You have tried enough to know that. So hear this clearly. This is not another voice telling you to try harder, and it is not a promise that the right mindset will make life open. Because one line in Scripture was already standing at this exact door, long before any of it. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. A door, a knock. A voice you have not yet been still enough to hear. This door has a side most people never think to check. And to see it, we have to begin where you have actually been standing all this time. So, look at where you have been standing. For years now, you have been standing outside the next level of income that always seems to sit one decision away. Outside the work that would finally feel like the thing you were made for. Outside the version of your life you can picture so clearly, it almost feels like a memory of something that has not happened yet. The provision that would let you finally breathe. The steadiness of a man who is no longer bracing for the next setback. And still, you are out here, on this side of it. And you came ready. You read the books and underlined them. You built the routines, and kept most of them, even on the days you did not feel like it. You woke early. You cut out the things that were quietly draining you. You set the goals, tracked them, and started again every time you fell off. You prayed, sometimes for years, about the same closed door. By any honest measure. So, this is the part that is hard to say plainly. It did not open the way you were told it would. You did the things that were supposed to change everything, and your life kept its old shape. You can feel that something is sealed. Some ceiling you cannot see but keep hitting. In your income, in your confidence, and how far you get before something quietly pulls you back. And no amount of effort has reached the thing that holds it. Hear this, because the rest of it depends on it. This was never about whether you tried. You did try, with everything you had, and the next level still did not let you in. So the thing keeping you out is not the size of your effort. It is not more discipline you are missing. And if it is not your effort, then what you have been calling a door may not be standing where you have always thought it was. Here is the shift almost no one makes. Every solution you tried was aimed outward. A better plan out there, a better habit out there, a better word spoken into the air. As if the life you wanted lived on the far side of a wall you had to climb. You kept treating it like a distance problem, as if the right amount of movement would finally close the gap. But the things that actually decide your life do not live out there. The tightening in your chest the moment something good gets close. The quiet voice that says it will fall apart this time too, so do not get attached. The way you pull back to the familiar version of yourself the moment you start to outgrow it. The way you let things slip right when they begin to work. None of that is in your circumstances. It has been running from the inside the entire time, deciding in advance how far you are allowed to go. This is not me telling you to think positive, and it is not some modern idea pressed onto an old text. The text itself is going to carry this. What I am saying is simpler and stranger than positive thinking. The thing you keep trying to reach is not a place you arrive at by going farther. It is a place you enter by turning around. If this is the kind of door you want to keep walking through, you can stay with this work by subscribing. Then come back here, because we are about to find what has actually been holding yours shut, and we are going to find where it opens. Not in theory, in the one place Scripture keeps pointing, which is closer to you than anything you have ever chased. There is one line in Scripture that walks straight into the room you are standing in. The words are these: Behold, I stand at the door and knock. Read it slowly. Someone is standing. The door is closed, and a voice is speaking on the other side of it. Sit with how strange that is. For all the years you spent trying to force your way through from the outside, certain the thing you wanted was somewhere ahead of you, the text describes someone already here. Not far away, not waiting at the end of more effort. Already present, knocking, speaking in a voice low enough that you would have to stop moving to hear it. And notice what that does to everything you assumed. You thought what you wanted was on the far side, and you were the one trying to get in. But the voice is not out there ahead of you. The voice is right here, at the threshold of something inside you. Which means this whole time, You may have had the entire direction wrong. This is not a verse used to decorate an idea about the mind. This is the idea, and the text is carrying it. But before you hear the rest of that line, look honestly at what you have been doing all these years. Look at what you have been doing. You have been pushing. Year after year, you put your shoulder into your life and pushed harder, certain that enough force would finally make it give. More hours, more discipline, more control over yourself, as if the answer was to become a stronger version of the same man. And when pushing did not work, you went looking for the right method, a new system, a new teacher, a new way to pray that someone promised would finally break it open. Each one felt like the answer for a few weeks. Each one quietly stopped working, and you were left where you began, a little more tired, a little more convinced the problem must be you. So hear what this is not. This is not me telling you that effort does not matter, or that you should stop working and wait for life to arrive. The work was real, and it built something in you worth keeping. But effort aimed at the wrong place does not become right by becoming heavier. A man can push against the same point for 20 years, and if it was never going to give from that side, all his strength only wears him down. So, if it does not give from the side you have been straining against, then what is holding it is somewhere you have never thought to look. And that is the part the verse has been waiting to show you. So here is the rest of the line. The text does not stop at the knock. It says, "If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him." Read it again. The one knocking does not break it down. He does not force his way past your resistance. He waits. And the one who opens it is the one already inside. Let that turn for a moment. What holds your life shut is not on the far side, with the provision and the freedom you keep reaching for. It is on this side. It is in here, with you. And the hand that has been holding it closed is your own. Hear this carefully, because it would be easy to twist it into blame, and that is not what this is. You did not do this on purpose. You have never once sat down and decided to keep your own life small. It happened quietly, long before you were old enough to notice, in a part of you that runs underneath your choices and never asks your permission. That part learns somewhere what you are allowed to have, how much success is safe, how much good can happen before something comes to take it away. And it has been enforcing those limits ever since, while the rest of you strained against the wrong side. This is why nothing on the outside ever reached it. You were working the side that was never going to open, while the side that opens has been within reach the whole time. The thing you have been fighting was never the door. It is something in you that has been guarding it. And Scripture names the kind of person most likely to be holding it shut without ever knowing. The line about the door, the knock, and the voice was first spoken to a particular group of people. And they are worth meeting, because you may see yourself in them more than you would like. They were not failures. They were not poor. They were the ones who had done well. By every measure anyone could see, they had arrived. And this is how they described themselves. I am rich and have need of nothing. Read it slowly, because that sentence is the whole problem in their own words. They were not lying. They had the resources, they had the standing, they had that quiet, settled sense that they had handled their lives, that they were capable men who did not require rescuing. And that exact feeling of having need of nothing was the bolt. Sit with that, because it is uncomfortable, and it is meant to be. The part of a man that believes it has need of nothing is the part that will never open. Why would it? It is convinced it has already done enough. It doesn't knock because it doesn't believe there is anyone on the other side it needs. It doesn't ask to be let in because asking would mean admitting it cannot do this alone. And that self-sufficiency does not feel like weakness. It feels like the very thing that carried you this far. And maybe that is the hardest thing to see in yourself. The competence you are quietly proud of. The independence you built because at some point you had to. The part of you that decided, long ago, that you would handle things, that you would not be caught needing anyone again. That part kept you standing when other men would have folded. But it is also the hand on the bolt. It decided, somewhere you never agreed to, that admitting you have reached the end of what your own strength can do is too dangerous to risk. So it keeps the door shut and calls it being strong. It would rather have you stand outside the life you want than become a man who has to be let in. And here is the mercy buried in that hard word. The same voice that named their condition did not walk away from them. It kept standing at the door. It kept knocking. It did not require them to become more impressive first. It only waited for them to stop being so certain They needed nothing. Which means you are about to see the one thing that has been within reach the entire time. And the way it opens is the opposite of everything you have been doing. So bring it all together, because this is the moment everything turns. The life you can see was never being kept from you by the world out there. Not your circumstances, not your past, not bad luck, or the people who got there before you. It was held shut from your own side, by the part of you that was certain it had already done enough. The part that needed nothing. The part that would rather stay outside than admit it could not do this alone. And the way through is not another push, not a better system, or a harder year, or a stronger version of the same effort. It is the one move that part of you has refused to make this whole time. To stop forcing. To grow quiet enough to finally hear the voice that has been speaking the entire time. And to open from the inside, where the only real lock has always been. This is what the line was saying all along. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him. He was not waiting out there for you to become enough. He was waiting at the threshold of the very room you kept avoiding. For you to stop striving long enough to let him in. You were never on the wrong side of a locked life. You were on the right side of a door you had simply never opened. So here is the turn itself, and it is quieter than anything you have ever tried. The turn asks almost nothing of you, and that is exactly why it is hard. For your whole life you have met everything that would not move with more force. The one thing left to do is to stop pushing and simply be still. So before you go back out into your day, stay here a moment longer. Let the striving go quiet. Not forever, just long enough to do one honest thing. Bring that closed door back to mind, the one you have stood at for years. And this time, do not look past it to the life on the other side. Turn the question around. Ask instead, what part of you has been holding it shut? And then ask the harder thing. The life you have been asking for? All of it. The provision, the freedom, the man you wanted to become. Is it possible that something inside you has not yet been willing to let it in? You do not need to force an answer. You only need to be honest enough to ask, and quiet enough to feel where it lands. There is a voice that has been at this door the whole time, underneath all your effort. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. It was never waiting for you to be impressive enough. It was waiting for you to be still enough to hear it, and willing enough to stop guarding the one thing you keep locked. You do not have to throw the door open tonight. You only have to stop standing with your back to it. That is the whole turn, to go quiet and face the door that was inside you all along. But a door that opens inward only leads somewhere if you walk through it. And there is a room on the other side of this one. The kingdom that Jesus said was within you was never only an idea to believe. It was a place to enter. And what waits in that inner room is not what most people expect to find there. That is the next door.